The wait is over. Kron Gracie is back in the UFC. If you're a new fan of MMA, then you need to know that Kron is a member of the family that began modern Brazilian jiu-jitsu and the UFC as a whole, so he's pretty famous around here. But apart from his family's background, Kron is one of the greatest grapplers in the UFC. He left the promotion back in 2019, but now he's back to face a formidable opponent at UFC 288. So who really is this Kron Gracie guy? How will his fight at UFC 288 go? And if he's so good, can he make a run for the title? Well, to find out these answers, just sit right where you are, and let's talk about him. Kron Gracie was born on July 11, 1988 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and is the son of legendary Brazilian jiu-jitsu master Kron Gracie. Kron Gracie grew up in California, USA, and began training in Brazilian jiu-jitsu under his father at a young age, winning his first competition as a yellow belt at the age of 10. From there, the family legacy was placed in his hands, and he knew he had to carry it on. In a short span, Kron quickly developed into one of the top Brazilian jiu-jitsu competitors in the world, winning numerous championships and earning his black belt in 2013. In addition to his success in BJJ, Kron Gracie also began competing in MMA, making his professional debut in 2014. Gracie's MMA debut came in December 2014 when he fought Hyung-Soo Kim in Japan's Real Fighting Championship. As expected, he won the fight via submission in the first round. He then fought 3 more times in Japan, winning all 3 fights via submission. And in 2019, Kron Gracie made his debut in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the premier MMA organization in the world, and the promotion his family is heavily affiliated with. He faced Alex Caceres in his first UFC fight and won by submission in the first round. It was pretty easy work for him, and this victory over Caceres further cemented his reputation as one of the most dangerous grapplers in the sport. But on October 12, 2019, everything changed. At UFC Fight Night 161 in Tampa, Florida, Kron Gracie made one of the biggest mistakes in his MMA career by choosing to engage in a stand-up fight against his opponent, Cub Swanson. Swanson is predominantly a striker, so everyone expected Kron to take him to the ground and submit him just as he had done with his other opponents. But for some reason, Kron decided to strike with him. He eventually lost the fight via unanimous decision after all 3 rounds and was heavily criticized by members of his family. Since his loss, Kron just kind of went under the radar, but now the UFC has confirmed that after a 3-year absence, Kron Gracie will make his return to the octagon to face off against another skillful fighter, Charles Jourdain, in a featherweight bout. These 2 men are both coming off losses, so it's a heavily anticipated fight by fans and MMA pundits. But the real question is, how is this fight going to go? Well, if you compare the fighting style of these 2 guys, you get an entirely new view of how things might turn out. Gracie's fighting style is heavily influenced by Brazilian jiu-jitsu, as he is known for his superior ground game. He has a black belt in martial art and has won multiple championships in the sport, so basically he will undoubtedly look to take the fight to the ground, where he will have the advantage. And if he can't take the fight to the ground, Kron seems very ready to strike. He's been working on his striking and has been training with renowned boxing coach Freddie Roach. He will look to showcase his improved striking skills in the fight against Jourdain. While on the other hand, Jourdain would be trying everything possible not to land on the ground. He's known for his dynamic and versatile fighting style. He's a skilled striker with a background in karate and kickboxing, and he also has solid grappling skills. Jourdain is known for his aggressive and high-volume striking, often throwing a wide variety of strikes, including punches, kicks, elbows, and knees. He's the type of guy to knock his opponent into the shadow realms. He's also comfortable fighting at range or in close quarters, and he is adept at adjusting his style to match his opponent's strengths and weaknesses. So Kron is going to have it tough on this one. There aren't any official odds for the fight right now, but from what we can tell, Kron Gracie would be looking to drag the fight to the ground by any means necessary. He'll probably try to pull guard or trip Jourdain and take his back to deliver his signature rear naked choke. While on the other hand, Jourdain has never backed down in his career, but we might see the Canadian circling for the first time. After all, Kron's ground game is on a whole different level, while Jourdain has an advantage on the feet. and it's just 3 rounds, so it's less about getting a finish and more about getting points to win. Jourdain has won just 2 in his last 5 fights, so he'll really be looking forward to putting up a good performance and getting a win. Because if he doesn't, he might get put under the UFC's release radar. Neither of these guys is ranked at the moment, so a win would definitely earn them a potential matchup with another ranked guy below the top 10. Since Kron's family has some interesting history with the UFC, he might get fast-tracked into a fight with a big name in the division, but that's just our own opinion. We do not know what the UFC has planned for this guy yet. And speaking of his family, the Gracie family actually had a huge role in the creation of the UFC. In the early 1990s, Kron Gracie, a member of the Gracie family, collaborated with businessman and martial arts enthusiast Art Davie to create an 8-man single elimination tournament for the purpose of showcasing the effectiveness of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu against other martial arts. The tournament was a no-holds-barred combat, much like the Vale Tudo matches the family had participated in for years in Brazil. The event was also to be televised and was aimed to publicly determine the best martial art. And guess what? This event later became modern-day UFC. The first UFC event took place in 1993 and featured fighters from various martial arts disciplines competing against each other. The event was a huge success, and it paved the way for the development of modern MMA. And as more events were held, another member of the Gracie family, Royce Gracie, went on to win 2 more early UFC tournaments. His victories brought widespread attention to the family's style of jiu-jitsu, attracting many martial artists, especially in America, to begin training the art proved so effective against various styles showcased in the early UFC tournaments. Since then, the Gracie family has been closely associated with the UFC. Kron Gracie served as one of the original promoters of the UFC, and his younger brother Royce Gracie competed in the first UFC event, just like we just said, and went on to win the tournament. Royce Gracie's dominance in the early UFC events helped to popularize BJJ and establish the Gracie family as one of the most influential families in the world of martial arts. Over the years, several members of the Gracie family have competed in the UFC, including Royce Gracie, Renzo Gracie, and Royler Gracie, among others. The family's legacy and contribution to the sport of MMA have been widely recognized, and they continue to be an important part of UFC's history and evolution. They even got thanked by Dana White himself. During an appearance on The Fight with Teddy Atlas, Dana White paid tribute to the Gracies for their role in creating the UFC. He also credited them for introducing the world to ground fighting and jiu-jitsu. He said, "The original UFC, the Gracies kicked that thing off. You know, with their style of jiu-jitsu and their style of fighting. It caught the world's imagination. And the other thing was, it added a whole new element to fighting. We'd never seen people go to the ground and fight on the ground. And they could beat any opponent, bigger, stronger, faster, no matter what the deal was. No matter what the style was, they'd figure out a way to beat them." As of today, no other member of the Gracie family still fights under the UFC banner except for Kron. So all eyes will definitely be on him to once again carry the family legacy at UFC 288. But before you go, make sure you check out one of these videos shown on your screen right now. They're both awesome, so just click on one and we'll see you there.